Hey guys, we're Just for Frillz. I'm Kelsi.
I'm Ryan. We've been cranking out these weekly cover videos for 22 weeks now, which is a little crazy for us. Didn't think we'd be able to make it this long. We've covered a lot of things from EDM, pop punk, some classic 90s, some acoustic remixes. But we've been spending a lot of time recording these videos, learning new songs, learning how to video edit, and it's been eaten into a lot of our time to actually write this album, which has kind of been the goal for this entire project. And so we're going to switch gears here a little bit. We're going to start sending out these videos and just kind of telling stories about our life, our writing process, and these songs that we're working on. When we first sat down to write this album, one of the hardest things to do is kind of to frame that. To frame what you want to talk about.
Yeah, we have been working on this album for the last year and a half about, and ultimately we just really needed to hone in and figure out what is this story, what are we trying to get across to the public, and what would people want to hear, but also what's most important is how we express ourselves creatively. So the content really ended up just being framed around us and our story so far.
Yeah, because, we think we're pretty badass. And so the album's called Our Story So Far, and so that really helped us, kind of set some boundaries on what to write about and what to make these songs about. And it, also makes it really personalized to us. And so the first song that we decided to work on, we thought, what better way of kind of starting the story than starting from a point from before Kelsi and I got together. So the first song we're going to talk about is the first song we actually have ever written together, called Let Go. And it's going to sound a little like this.
I've always been the master of starting projects and never finishing them. So we figured there needed to be a more structured process in getting through the beginning to end with a song, and especially with an album. And also we'd never, created something together like this. So Ryan decided that a writing retreat would be a really good idea to just kind of go somewhere and get those creative juices flowing and figure out how to finish this song. So we decided to do a little road trip getaway, and
we went down to Anaconda, Montana, which, if you guys aren't from Anaconda, or if you're not from Montana, it's a really interesting little town. Actually has a lot of history. It's connected to Butte, America. If you know anything about Butte, huge fortunes were made off the mines in Butte, and all of that ore was smelted in Anaconda. So it's this really old town that's got a lot of history, and so we rented this little Airbnb because there's so many distractions at our house and our home studio. It's just really hard to kind of get in that creative state. And I can, speaking for myself, I feel like I'm most creative in the shower and driving for some reason. And so we thought it would be a really good way to start framing how the emotions and the imagery and the things that when we listen to the beat and we listen to the song, what that music kind of conjured up for us. And so that's where we kind of originally came to that letting go concept.
Yeah, we ended up writing a good portion of, I think, the chorus while we were on the drive to this little vacation rental, and we kind of made this deal that we would stay in the rental until we finished the song, and we would reward ourselves by going to the hot springs afterwards. So we accomplished that, and we finished our very first song, and then we had the rest of the weekend to enjoy each other's company. So it ended up being a pretty special time, and we've actually used that same kind of structure to help us build some of our other songs.
A lot of people can relate to this kind of concept of, Kelsi and I were both both kind of had rough breakups before we got together. And I can't remember who I was listening to, but they were saying that, when you're in a relationship, that you do kind of actually store little bits and pieces of yourself in this other person. And so when that separation happens, you do end up losing a bit of yourself. And so, this whole concept of letting go and kind of being okay with saying goodbye to that part of yourself and looking at the opportunity to kind of build yourself up and kind of recreate yourself and finding strength, kind of within yourself, kind of through that process.
Yeah, we both definitely resonated with the title and the overall message of this song. When we first got together, we were definitely in completely different places, and we weren't even really ready for what we were getting into, but we just decided that it was okay not to be perfect and to allow ourselves to grow and to change together, and then eventually we would heal and we would grow and change as a couple and as individuals, but that it was worth doing that together. So that is the ultimate message of this song, is just letting go of your past while still learning from it and embracing who you're going to be in the future. So this is our first introduction for our very first song we wrote together, and our plan is to continue releasing these videos talking a little bit about each song of this 10-song album. So we really hope that you enjoy this content and are listening to each of these videos, and then when you do hear these songs, you can have that connection, understanding of the message that we're bringing.
Well, guys, until next week, we're just for Frillz. Much love.